Hi everybody, this is Angel Arts, and many out there probably know, if you have been on my channel for a while, or probably not that long of a while, that I am a huge Telltale Games fan. Very, very big fan of their games, and even before they became really huge with the release of The Walking Dead, because I started playing their games way back during the Strong Bad, Homestar Runner, Strong Bad School Games for Attractive People. So anyway, they just came out with a summer 2017 update video, which I am going to, I guess, react to because I haven't done a reaction video in a while, and they're a lot of fun. So let's take a look and see what Telltale has in store for the rest of the year, shall we? Let's take a look. Summer 2017 update.
Hi, my name is Caroline Liddick.
I'm Ryan Weller.
And we're here from Telltale Games, and fans have been wondering what's next for us here.
Just a little bit. They've been asking a few things.
Yeah, so I think we have some updates for the rest of 2017 into 2018,
I'm
right?
curious.
We do, and I am so friggin' excited, especially with what we're doing here at Comic-Con.
Yeah, let's
I
just
love
roll
his
right into the
Clementine
first one.
shirt.
Let's just get to it.
It's super
Yeah.
cute. I kind of want that shirt.
Told you I'd see you again, didn't I? You and me, we're two threads in the same
Oh, it's the
stitch.
next Batman. Oh,
You see,
nice.
I met
This
some
one's
inspiring
this one's
people
dark.
out here.
So is this Joker?
Made some new friends.
There he is. Oh, Riddler.
So much fun.
Oh, I'm excited. I love the Riddler. The Riddler is one of my favorite of all Batman villains. I personally feel like the Joker's overrated, personally. I'm not that huge of a Joker fan. He's cool, don't get me wrong. Riddler is just fun. Riddler's just
With
so
season
fun.
one, we had the challenge of finding out how far we could
Hi, Troy.
take Batman and bend it before it breaks. We found out that you could bend it pretty far.
The thing that's a lot different for us is that we do a lot of gameplay as Bruce Wayne, which most games are very focused on Batman. With our
Yeah.
game, you play both
I
as
love
Bruce
that.
and as Batman.
Yeah,
so
I
both
love
sides
that.
of the identity.
That's such a
Season one
great
was a
idea.
story about you as Bruce Wayne, seeing everything around you kind of understood to make you up kind of all fall apart. The whole Batman mythos is all about Bruce Wayne having his parents sacrifice themselves for him at a young age. And our story is about Bruce finding out that his father was actually corrupt.
His family wasn't what he thought it was.
Yeah.
He's finding out that his company could be taken away from him. The people he cares most about are in danger.
His heroes have now really become the people that he now fights. There's a great quote by Harryhausen. The best monster is one you can imagine in repose. In season one, we got a chance to set up some of the villains that people are the most familiar with.
It's Cobble Hot.
But in The Enemy Within, we get to see those villains, those monsters in repose.
We're allowing the player to explore a philosophy of a means to an end. Like, how far are they willing to go? What parts of themselves are they willing to compromise to get the job done?
Bruce is going to have to realize that the only way to take down some of these villains is to get closer to them.
I think as we've seen in the
Interesting.
teaser trailer, the biggest new threat is the appearance of the Riddler.
Obviously, John Doe makes an appearance.
We talk about John Doe internally as the proto-Joker.
Obviously, Telltale Games are all about choices. They're all about talking, and every time you talk to John Doe, you should be wondering, is he listening to what I'm saying? He very well might be.
The thing that I've always loved about Telltale Games is there's a partnership between myself and the game to where I am helping to create my own narrative. The stakes have never been higher than it does with a Batman game because now I'm creating my own Batman. The sandbox goes from here to here.
If you played season one and you enjoyed getting to know some of the Batman villains who were a little bit different than you saw in canon, being able to form close relationships with them, befriend them, become their mortal enemies, you are going to have an amazing time in The Enemy Within.
I'm really
Telltale's Batman: The Enemy Within premieres this August.
so curious
The
to see.
billionaire or the bat? Which mask will you wear?
I love that.
Oh my God, that is so
I'm
freaking
excited to
cool.
see what they do with the Riddler.
I cannot wait for this second season of Batman. And Troy Baker is back. I am so
Oh,
stoked.
yeah.
And it premieres
I'm
in August,
so...
which is super close.
I have to know, what else have the fans been asking about our future endeavors and what we're putting out here?
We finished up The Walking Dead: A New Frontier in spring, and we may or may not have had a couple tweets here and there asking about what Clementine's up to. And so we brought our dev team in to talk about what she's up to, where she's going, what her journey is, and what's up next for Telltale's The Walking Dead. So
Okay,
let's take a
wow.
look at that.
So soon. Is it going to be a DLC like 400 Days?
We've been on this journey with Clementine since 2012. We had no idea that Clem was going to mean so much to players.
When we first started working on Walking Dead, we knew it was a redemption story about the man named Lee. And Clementine was the lens that we see all of our actions. For this to really work, I think we needed a Clementine who was smart. We needed a character who was self-reliant. We needed a character who was there to help you and not be a hindrance.
Right.
It was kind of a risk putting a kid as a main character in a game. The fact that she was such a likable character, her heartbreaking relationship with Lee was amazing.
She started out as a symbol of something to worry about, but she became a symbol of hope. She became something that represented what we all live for.
Yeah, I totally agree.
I always look at Clementine Season 2 as being defined by survivor's guilt.
Stuff has happened, time has gone by, and she's not as trusting immediately of people she meets,
Luke!
and they're not trusting of her.
Oh, that glimpse. Oh, Luke!
The whole season of Season 2
Oh.
was about kind of weighing the options of how do you define your own family.
Kenny.
One of the more defining characters that she meets in Season 2 is Carver in Episode 3.
Yeah.
He's basically like, you're not like the rest of them. You're meant to lead. You're not meant to follow. You can make the hard decisions.
It is not difficult at all when things like the finale of Season 2 happen, where you have to make this horrible decision to
Except I
feel
didn't.
that. I really legitimately felt so horribly sad in that session. What a horrible, tragic ending.
I made the decision to not
I was
make a
actually
decision.
surprised at how many people, in the end, ended up going off on their own.
Javier.
The time you meet at the beginning of Season 3 is definitely shaped by the events of 2. She's had a really rough go of it. Those that do survive generally tend to be those that have withdrawn into themselves and found internal strengths to kind of deal with the horrors.
It all seemed to fit very well with where she's at in Season 3. There are times when I'm doing Clementine's voice in Season 3 where she is a bit lower than my voice.
This area I have to speak in my throat. I can't really explain it.
Season 2 was all about her trying to make a go of it in new families and new communities and how that really did not go well. Over the course of Season 3, she meets a family with which, by the end, it did work. And so she's, I think, rejuvenated.
In The New Frontier, Clem got to see something that she hadn't been exposed to in a long time. A functional family, a family that was still caring for each other throughout everything that they had gone through in the world of The Walking Dead so far. And she set out at the end of A New Frontier with one singular goal in mind, which was to find AJ and make that again for herself. Now, what she's going to do when she finds him, that is the story of Season 4. That is the story of future Clem. Who she wants to be, who she wants to be with, and how she wants to be, those are decisions the player's going to make.
I'm excited for
Just
that.
hearing from the fans all the way through Season 1 and hearing that response. And that's what drove our decision to play as her in this 4th and final season. You will play as Clem. This will be Clem's story.
The final season. Season 4 is the final one. Wonderful.
It's going to be an amazing experience. Thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. Been a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and so much love has been behind this whole experience.
Gabe.
Good luck. I'll be right there with you.
Oh, I hope we can give her a happy ending. Or as happy of an ending as possible. I know it's the Walking Dead universe, but Telltale, give us the option of giving her some kind of a happy ending.
Wow. 4th and final season.
That was
crazy.
That was insane. I mean, it's been quite a journey from the 1st season to the 4th season.
It has. And I'm so excited to play as Clementine again. She's such a badass.
So in 2017, we have
Makes more
Batman
sense
the
now
Animated
that she's
Series
older.
premiering. And then in 2018, we have Walking Dead premiering. Is there anything else? Anything else that we are going to be premiering in 2018? Anything possibly comic book related?
Tales from the Border. I was gonna say Tales from the Borderlands, please. But comic books. Oh, this has got to be Wolf Among Us.
We might actually
This has to
have
be Wolf Among
some
Us.
special guests to talk about this.
Interesting.
Yeah, let's go take a look at that.
Yes, I can hear it.
Mean
I hear it as soon as I heard that note.
We're in good shape.
As soon as I heard that note, I was like, "That's
So
the Wolf
many
Among
y'all.
Us."
Abrams says, where the is Wolf Among Us Season 2? I'm right there with you, buddy.
Okay, this is getting ridiculous now. We want a second season of The Wolf Among Us already. It is ridiculous, I agree. You are correct.
In all caps, Season 2 Wolf Among Us, I want some damn answers.
It's rude.
At Senpai8, where is my boy, Big Bad Wolf? Wolf emoji. At Wolf Among Us 2. Senpai may have noticed me, but he did not notice spell check.
At D River O, I'm just gonna tweet y'all every day until we get the Wolf Among Us 2, I swear.
Nice.
Can we get someone to check if we actually did that?
D River O has been tweeting us every day. Let's see if that's going to pay off.
That's hilarious.
Telltale, when are we going to get Season 2 of The Wolf Among Us? Telltale, silence is a valid option.
Love that. Silence is a valid option.
Okay, Mundies. You've been bugging me for 3 years.
Adam Harrington.
Where's Season 2? Where's more Wolf Among Us? Well, it finally paid off. Congratulations.
Nice.
Season 2, 2018.
Okay. 2018. All right. Fair enough. Maybe early 2018. We'll see.
Well, I think one of the things that makes Wolf Among Us so special is the general atmosphere of the game really commits to the detective story that we're trying to tell.
And I love the art style.
Fables is fantastic. It's an award-winning series.
Fables is amazing. Read that comic, guys.
This universe, this
If you like this game, read Fables. I'm telling you, it's awesome.
I feel like Bigby is facing in this game a interesting challenge of that he's got this past that he can't control.
Being Snow, she's your right-hand man. So everything you do is going through the Snow filter.
The thing that you want to do is the thing that you shouldn't do. To me, that's like Wolf in a nutshell.
I think we put people in a place where they really could connect with Bigby in that dilemma.
I think we're excited to get back into this world again. You know, a new story, a new mystery, an all-new set of stakes.
To the fans of The Wolf Among Us, I can't thank you guys enough.
Thank you for your patience. You're getting Wolf Among Us Season 2.
Telltale fans, this is going to be for you guys. This is happening because of you.
I'm just really happy that we get to be able to do this.
Lots of sequels. We're getting a lot of sequels, which I'm happy about. Tales from the Borderlands is the one I really want. That's the one I've been wanting for the longest time. Super awesome. Super awesome. Cool. So we didn't get any information about, like I said, Tales of the Borderlands. That's something I've been wanting to death. I still would love, 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 love to have that series be about Vaughn and Sasha looking for Reese and Fiona. I would love for it to be similar in format from the original Tales from the Borderlands, where you had Reese and Fiona, you were swapping back and forth between the two characters. It would be really cool to be able to control Vaughn and Sasha and swapping between the two of them. I think that would be really cool, and I think it would be super cute to see those two people, you know, looking for the main protagonists from the last installment. So that's something I'm really looking forward to. I also noticed that they haven't said anything yet about Game of Thrones. I know that they are planning on doing a sequel to the Game of Thrones. So I'm actually surprised that they haven't announced that when they did announce the sequel to Batman, because Batman is a really recent game, just that was released just within the last year, whereas Game of Thrones was released a couple of years ago. So timing wise, I would have preferred to have seen something more towards the Game of Thrones versus Batman, just because Batman is still relatively fresh and we're already getting a new Batman season. But I mean, hey, Batman, I'm not going to complain. I love the original season 1 of Batman. I love Troy Baker. So any more Troy Baker is just fine by me. But I mean, yeah, I'm excited for all of these games. They didn't give a date for The Walking Dead Season 4. I'm probably not going to hold my breath too much, because that probably won't be until like at least 2019, and my guess in 2019 is not going to be when we're going to get The Walking Dead Season 4. But I see Batman possibly coming out soon, and obviously The Wolf Among Us is coming out in 2018. We still got a whole bunch of other games. We've got Minecraft, we've got Guardians of the Galaxy. So there's still other things going on with Telltale, and I know we're gonna have plenty of things to look forward to and to play in the meantime. So yeah, excited. Like I said, Riddler, super excited. I'm wondering what his character is going to be like in this particular version, since we're deviating from the canon quite a bit, and I would love to see what the Riddler has in store for our Batman here. And The Wolf Among Us, I'm curious to see how. Would love to see more of the characters that I loved in Fables from the comics. Two of my favorite characters from the Fable series is definitely Blue, the little boy Blue, and Cinderella. Those two are awesome. And there's one more character, but I feel like if I mention that character's name and I mention that character is awesome, it kind of gives it away. It'll give away, because you're not supposed to necessarily know how awesome that character is until many comics later, many of the graphic novels later. For those of you who have read the visual novels, you probably know which character I'm talking about. And I don't want to give anything away about that character, because that character may or may not have already been shown in Season 1, may or may not have been shown, but I'm not going to specify which one. But definitely Boy Blue and Cindy would be super cool to see in this particular game. It's funny that we haven't even seen Charming. We haven't seen Prince Charming, even though Snow is there. I would be shocked if they didn't have Prince Charming in Season 2. So those are characters that I'm looking forward to possibly meeting in that one. And then, obviously The Walking Dead, who knows? We'll see what goes on with that. It was really cool to see Melissa, I think Hutchinson is her last name, especially since Lucky Jack was so nice to have her give me and Colin a personal message. I got a personal message from Melissa.
Hi, Hark and Colin. This is Clementine, and I just want to say congratulations on getting married. That's really cool, because I don't think people are going to get married in the world that I live in now, which has like zombies and stuff. So congratulations.
Which is super cool. Thank you again, Logan, Lucky Jack, for doing that for me. Yeah, so that's all I got. So thank you guys so much for watching my reaction, and until next time, love yourselves and love each other.